This is Jazz Guitar Scholars, Tune World, a place to go deeper and farther than you ever imagined. And now, your master coach instructor. Hey, my Tune World people, it's a joy to come before you to share some information with you that I think will be helpful and will help to help you get the most out of Tune World and all the things you're experimenting with and checking out and applying and learning. I have taught guitar for many, many years and taught many different levels, and there's a core foundation of stuff, of ideas and concepts and tips, tools, and techniques that really make a difference. I've seen it be the bedrock for those that have gone on to play really great jazz guitar. And there's many of us that play well and can play tunes and things and be in Tune World and learn things, but if we haven't taken care of these core foundational things, they tend to come back to haunt us. They're things that are go-to things. Now, in Tune World, I believe I've talked about these things. I've given pieces of them in all the different classes. I may have even done a class about them. I know I've done it in some of the other things I've shared, but I want to make sure that in one place, right here and now, you have a sort of your foundation, the basic tools, the sorts of things you should be doing. If this is not familiar to you, if you haven't done this in a while, I highly recommend that you revisit these exercises, you check out these techniques, because they will make a difference in your playing from the ground up. They will improve your time. They will give you a better sense of form. They will help you sound better and be better and play better. And of course, better players will want to play with you if you feel good to play with. And these things are designed for that. Generally speaking, I teach the guitar in two ways, which is the art of jazz and the craft of the guitar. And there are different things, art of jazz being the musical content. It's the thing that Jim Hall and Wes Montgomery and Bill Evans and Miles Davis and John Coltrane and Bird and Diz, it's the thing they all have in common, this sense of musicality, this innate sense of storytelling and sharing their heart and sharing their explorations. It's that feeling that's genuine and authentic. That's the art of jazz. And then there's the craft of the guitar, the craft of playing the instrument itself, getting around, finding what works for you. Do you want to pick all the notes? Do you want to play legato? Do you want to play hybrid? I want to go through these in a quick summary just to give you a lens to look at. Any one of these things would be worthy of an entire course or several long extended videos, but I'm not going to do that here today. I'm just going to give you a brief summary view so that you can look at this as a template for what you're doing. If these elements are not included in your practice, then by all means they need to be included in your practice, because they're things that to this day I do for myself that have made a real difference, okay? All right, so the art of music, the art of jazz, and the craft of the guitar, that sort of thing. All right, so one of the things you're learning in Tune World, substitutions and trying different things and different ways of playing chords, and that's great. The right thing played in the wrong place is always wrong. You want to be able to have your time, your rhythm, not be a guesswork, a patchwork of I think this might work or maybe this will work. So what are the core foundational rhythmic comping devices that you can use that will make you sound in the pocket, put you right in the pocket, swing, groove, all that sort of thing? Well, there's 5 basic comping rhythms, okay? The first rhythm, comping rhythm that every guitarist must know and be adept with, is the Freddie Green rhythm. Freddie Green being the iconic jazz guitarist with the Count Basie Orchestra, who made his life and living by playing 4 to the bar. And, many of us have done that and that's just 4 to the bar, it's easy. But there's actually more variation to that than one would think, particularly in today's era where the sorts of charts we might accompany, be asked to accompany and play in a big band or a small group where we're playing the Freddie Green 4 to the bar. It might need more than just the original Freddie Green iteration of 4 to the bar, just straight like that. So I want to show you the 4 variations of Freddie Green, right? So the first variation of Freddie Green, I'm going to use the B flat 9th chord, right? Would be to just play quarter notes, right? And we're going to play them all clipped, all short, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So if we're playing a blues, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Easy enough, right? Okay, so the next variation of that, if those were all short, articulated as in short attacks, quick attacks, the next would be to play it with long attacks, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, where you're giving the quarter note a full value. Right? The third variation would be where you play short. The first one is attacked in a clipped way, and the second one is played long. So short, long, short, long. That would be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and that's short, long. And then the last one would be long, short, where the first one is held for the full amount, and the second one is clipped. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems like a simple thing, and maybe you're looking at that and like, really, Rodney? That's what you got? That's it? Yeah, that's it. That becoming adept with that, becoming comfortable with that, being able to play that right in the center of the beat will make all the difference in your rhythmic feel at all. You can play it with a drum track. Short, short. Long, long. Short, long. Long, short. Don't sleep on that. Don't run past that. Don't think it's too simple. This is for you to develop a strong and clear time feel where you're playing right in the center of the beat. Short, short, long, long, short, long, long, short. Critical practice. I highly recommend that you do that. And when you're learning the songs from Tune World, try these tunes with that Freddie Green style in those 4 different variations, okay? The next and most common comping thing you'll encounter is the Charleston feel. The Charleston feel is, the dotted quarter to an eighth. It's the thing that Wes Montgomery made so popular. Like on Twisted Blues, It's that feeling, right? You've heard that before. Right? And same with Freddie Green, there's 4 variations. Well, you know what they are. The first one is short, short. Long, long. Short, long. Okay, then you've got long, short. Right? Must know the dotted quarter, the Charleston feel, because the Charleston was a song, that. That's the Charleston feel. But you must know this rhythm and those 4 variations. Practice them till you're comfortable. Till you can do that on the tunes you're learning in Tune World. You're learning these tunes and learning these other chords and swinging and all that. These are the comping rhythms that you want to have in your heart, in your hands. When it's time to play and time to comp for somebody else, these are the things that are going to work. You don't have to guess. You don't have to wonder, oh, I'll try this and try that. It's okay to do that, but try those things as an educated player. This is the education. Try that from the perspective of this stuff is in your hands, in your heart, and in your ears. Okay? Now, the next one, the third figure is, I call it a triplet feel because it has that triplety feel, obviously. It's one of the least applied feels in jazz guitar comping. It's one that I'm noted for and known for. If you've heard me play, you've heard me do this 1,000 times. To me, it is like the secret sauce, the magic sauce. But it's not all that common, but it swings like crazy. It grooves like crazy. And let me demonstrate that. It's like this. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, bop, bop. So you want to play the chords with this feeling. Right? Self-explanatory, no different versions of that. Just learn that one, be able to play that over the tunes. Right? Triplet feel, it's great. It swings. It's awesome. Okay, the next one, the fourth one, is the shout chorus. You've heard that. Shout chorus is usually after the band has played, after the big band, particularly the big band, and then everybody sort of like in unison is playing a figure. You know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Well, like 1, 2. Imagine a big band. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Two variations of that. So the first one is that I just played. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. That's the rhythm. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. Over blues would be like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Get the idea? So that's one of those. The other one is, the other shout chorus is this one. 2, 3, 4. So the rhythm is 1, 2, 3, 4. the idea, right? So those are the two shout course rhythms. Do not ignore them. Do not sleep on them. These are the things that when you're learning songs in Tune World and you're swinging, these are the comps that you should practice initially. You want to have these things be your bedrock and foundation. And when you do that and you build it, you're building a house with a really strong foundation. Then when you start combining them, start adding other things, you're good to go. This is the difference in, grown folks and not grown folks, to put it that way. And the final thing is to play the rhythm of the melody, right? The reason that something is the melody is it's a strong combination of both of linear, the lines, and also the rhythm, the way the melody is phrased, right? And so these rhythms become part of the thing that you comp. You'll always sound right if you're comping part of the melody. For example, if you have something like so you have 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, you don't have to play all of that. You don't have to play the melody exactly right in the rhythm of the melody, because it'll probably crowd up whoever's soloing, whoever's playing. It'll be too much, but you can play parts of it, and it's going to sound like you're punching these rhythms that are going to be perfect. Why? Because they're part of the melody. They're designed to fit. They're designed to propel the song forward. So you want to use that. So play. See how that works? Here again, with all the tunes you're learning in Tune World, this is the practice of developing your time and your rhythmic feel. So when you're comping for yourself or anyone else, it's going to feel good. This is the thing I learned from playing with Dizzy as a kid of just turning 19, is that for all the stuff I didn't know, I did know these things. And these were the things that let me play with Milt Jackson and Dizzy and all the legends of the music, Clark Terry, because it felt good. These are things felt good. These were the things that were underpinning their rhythmic foundation. All the soloing they were playing was built on this house that I'm teaching you now. So don't ignore this. This is a really important supplemental video for you, okay? Now, going forward, when you're talking about playing with the metronome, there's lots of back and forth. Should you play with the metronome? Shouldn't you play with the metronome? I'm a metronome guy. I'm very much a part of use the metronome because I think it's a useful tool. You don't have to only stick with the metronome, but I think it's really useful. And you want to use the metronome in 3 ways. The first way, as start, you can use it many different ways, but the first way is just to have the metronome kicking quarter notes, right? So that's the metronome on 121. Right? Metronome on quarter notes. Then you want to have the metronome so the metronome is on 2 and 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. You want to have the metronome so it's 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why is this important? Because when you get used to playing with the metronome like that, particularly shifting between the metronome clicking on 2 and 4 and 1 and 3, you're getting used and you're training your ear to be able to hear the music, hear where you are, whatever side of the beat you're on. Most of the errors that happen when people solo or when they're comping is that they get out there, they start exploring, using all the stuff, and then they get turned around rhythmically. Where am I? What side of the beat am I? Or where is the line ending? I ended it on the wrong side of the beat, and I started wrong, and so then they get stuck. If you practice this beginning either way, or with the metronome on 2 and 4 or 1 and 3 and quarter notes, it's going to help to overcome that issue, okay, for you. Very important practice when you're practicing with this. It's okay to go to the backing tracks, the organ tracks. I know everyone likes that, and to go with the bass and drum tracks. You should practice with those things. but also practice these rhythms on the tunes with the metronome as I just indicated. That has served me so well. That has made a huge difference in those students I've ever taught who got their time field together. That has been a major thing that moves the needle in a big way. I cannot emphasize it enough. If you're not doing these things and you're getting all the stuff in Tune World but not building this house, you're building it on a very shaky foundation because rhythmically it's not going to be right, okay? All right, great. So, basic 2-5 positions, right? We talked about that, but I mean, basically 2-5 positions. I talked about that in my Zoom call, my favorite thing Zoom call, but it's like, 2-5-1, 2-5-1, minor 7, 13 flat 9 to major. You want to practice these things in rhythm, with these, That's the beginning of chord soloing in a Wes Montgomery style or a Rodney Jones style, or that's the beginning of that sort of thing, okay? All right, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time with those particular exercises. Those are featured in Tune World somewhere, and you can ask Braden Bradford. He can tell you where those are. Okay, and this applies to 2-5-1s and 2-5-1 movements. In terms of developing your single note concept, you want to play linear exercises to build the art. To build a craft of playing the guitar, playing chromatics. And I'm talking about primarily guitar chromatics, which means just playing across like this. I'm not saying where you have to get every note, but you want to do that with the metronome on quarter notes and also on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. And then you want to do it with the metronome on 1 and 3, but you also want to do it starting on the and. So instead of starting on the downbeat, 1, 2, 4, ba ba da ba, right on 1, you want to start on the and. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Why? Well, for the reasons I said before, whatever side of the beat you're on, you're okay with being on that side of the beat. You're okay with starting on either an and or starting on a downbeat. And you're also training your ear to not get confused. And also, chromatics, which I was just playing, sound way better. They swing and groove much harder if you start them on an and than on a downbeat. If you listen to George Benson or any of the players that play chromatics really beautifully, a lot of them are on the either started on the and or felt on the and. So that's a very important thing to do. Okay, so with chromatic, and you want to play four note chromatics with all 4 fingers. You also want to play it on 1 string. Right? You want to play the same thing with 3 fingers. You want to get used to sliding in and out of these notes, because that's going to be part of what gives it the soulful, greasy feeling, human feeling. And you can slide up on your first note, 1, 2, 3, 4, or slide on your third note, 1, 2, 3. You slide that way on your third finger. Third finger slide, first finger slide, and practice the same exercises all the way around with those things. Okay, I talked about picking diagnostic exercises. These are some exercises that developing your picking, your articulation. These are good exercises to go through, right? The first one is just 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to play that? Right? Right? You want to try to... The idea is for it to sound like machine gun fire, for it to sound very articulated. Right? You want to pick every note. So the point of this exercise is find a way to play that simple phrase, 5 notes, picking every note. 5 notes to a quarter note, right? Okay, the next is 6. Likewise, picking every note. See if you can work that up into a fast tempo, right? The next one is 1-4-5 and then flat 2-4-5, right? Essential part of playing the Coltrane McCoy Tyner vocabulary is this line here. Here again, picking every note. You want to pick every note of that. Experiment with it. As opposed to me saying pick it this way or pick it that way. Try it yourself. See what you come up with, how you can play it. The key thing is pick every note, play as cleanly and clearly as you can, and as fast as you can. That's the exercise. Don't omit that exercise. It's part of mastering the guitar, getting your guitar mastery skills together. This is a big part of what you're doing behind the scenes in Tune World on your own, okay? All right, we're talking about transcriptions, right? Because we're talking about, transcribing things, and whether you're listening to me play or listening to Wes or Grant Green or Kenny Burrell or Joe Pass or Barney Kessel, whoever you're listening to. Transcriptions are a wonderful thing to do. The difficulty with transcriptions is that most of the time, in my years of teaching, students transcribe solos, and then they cannot apply much of what they've transcribed. So they spend, days and days and weeks learning something that then it's time to play, and they get on the bandstand, and then it doesn't come out. They haven't really yielded a benefit. And I found the way to do that is by taking a small excerpt. Don't be so concerned with transcribing the whole solo. Focus on listening to the solo and finding a line or two that you really like. Listen to the solo, and when you find a line that you really like, learn that line. And then apply that line to 3 other tunes. So if you learn this line, so then you just want to use that, and then play it on a blues. And play it against a major. You know what I'm saying? You want to take one line, something you can really assimilate, something you can digest, and play it over 3 different types of tunes and on 3 different types of chords, ideally major, minor, and altered. If you can do that, now you can apply that line. It becomes a part of your vocabulary. And little by little, you begin to acquire this linear vocabulary of lines that you love, things you really enjoy, and that begins to become your sound. Because we're all going to acquire different things. We're going to like different things. We're going to listen to different things. And when you find the things that really do it for you, make that part of your own personal vocabulary. That is going to give you a faster result and a more lasting result than learning the whole solo. Is learning the whole solo good? Yes, because you see the arc, you see the motivic development, you see all that. And it's good for your ear training. But when you go to play, it's not going to come out. You're not going to get it out. And so it's not going to really serve you, the measurable progress in a reasonable time. This will get you up and running much faster than that other approach. I've seen it, hundreds and thousands of times with this is the superior. This is applied transcription. I'm going to listen to a solo, find 1 or 2 lines out of the solo I like, and learn those things. And then I'm going to take those things and apply them on 2 or 3 other tunes other than the tune I learned it on, and see if I can play it on a major chord, a minor chord, and a dominant 7th chord or an altered chord. That is going to get you a quick result with transcription, okay? I want to just quickly talk. I didn't talk about it in comping rhythms, but bossa nova is another key thing, and I'm certainly not the expert in bossa nova playing, but I am an expert at playing professional bossa nova, like what works to make the gig, what is the thing, It'll be one you should know. So I'm playing, and I'm the basic 2, 3, 4, 1 and 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, and then the top part's going 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Many different variations, but start with that one. Learn that one. So if someone says, "Oh, you know a bossa nova," and you can say, "Oh, sure." get the idea? If you had to learn one bossa nova rhythm to get started, to play these tunes with the bossa feel, that would be the one. There's a lot of others. I mean, there's basic funk patterns and basic blues, rhythm and blues patterns. The other thing to do is consider listening, like you're listening to things as part of your practice time. It's different than listening to it when you're driving or listening to it when you're at home cooking or doing other things. Make concentrated, focused, devoted, applied listening part of your practice routine. So you take, even if it's 15 minutes or 10 minutes a day, and listen to something uninterrupted, undisturbed, just you and the music, and just listen. Listen louder. Try to listen into the sound. See what you can hear. See what you can learn about the nuance of how things are being played. Not just what's being played, but how is it being played? Why is it being played? Why does it feel that way? What is the sound? What is the sound like? How's the tone? Like, go deeper. Immerse yourself into the listening of it, and listen to tunes. Listen to many different versions of Alone Together and Stellar by Starlight and Minor Blues and on and on and on. Listen to those versions. Get a sense of what people have done. You're not going to be stuck there. You don't have to worry about being stuck in someone else's vision, but you want to build a foundation on solid ground. You want to have a foundation built upon, the giants of jazz that have gone before us. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel when you don't have to. You don't need to. You can build your own wheel, but learn how wheels are made and what they do. So this is what disciplined, focused listening as part of your practice is. The other thing I've talked about in one of the videos, I believe one of the early ones, listen to the backing tracks and practice just playing the melody just 10 times on a tune. You ever done that? Take Days of Wine and Roses and just play the melody 10 times. Find 10 times, go around 10 times and just play the melody. Find different fingerings. Play it on different strings. Play it in different octaves. Then you can play it and embellish the melody. Play a little bit. You might go like, one of the things that the students at Juilliard had to do was to play as part of their jury and also part of their entrance exam, play a combined melody and solo. So you play the melody and also solo, play the fills to show your mastery of the melody, that you know where it is, you know it play, and you can also integrate your other linear and melodic ideas along with the melody. Very, very important to do, and you have to just practice playing the melody a bunch of times. The other thing, you've heard it before, I'm going to say it again, to know the lyrics. Not to be stuck in the lyrics, but at least to know what the lyrics are talking about. Even if you don't memorize them, read them a couple times. Listen to some vocalists saying that most of these great standards were sung by Sarah Vaughan and Ella Fitzgerald and Lena Horne and many, many other singers, Anita O'Day. And, check out the lyric of the tune, the way they're phrased, the way the melody is phrased with the words. You'll hear different things than just listening to instrumentalists play the melody. So learn the lyrics, listen to the lyrics, and even if you don't memorize it, just get familiar with, I know what that's about. I'm familiar. You can hear it in your head, okay? Something else, start writing your own tunes. Take Alone Together, take some of the different chords that I showed you, and write a melody against those new chords, and make that your own tune. This is a contrafact, where you're taking the original chords and writing a melody that's new against those chord set. Begin to do that. Start writing now. If you write one tune a month, a year from now you'd have 12 tunes. Developmentally, you want to become familiar with playing on the things you hear as much as playing on the things other people hear. It's great to play on, Alone Together, and but it's great to play on your version of Alone Together with your melody. Becomes your statement, how you feel, what it resonates within you, what lights up for you. And that's a very powerful thing to begin to develop now. So that 1, 2, 3, 4 years from now, you have a library of not just lines and information, chords and things, but also a library of tunes and your concept and the way you put 2 5s together and the way you change things and your own original music. It will pay infinite value to learn your own music as well as other people's music. Think about it. It's counterintuitive, right? You're going to spend hours and hours learning someone else's tune and never spend any time learning your own tune. And it could be a vamp tune. It could be something very simple. It could be, 8 bars, 16 bars. Start somewhere. Remember, You fail at everything you don't try. Trying, you might fail. It might not be good. If you don't do it, it's not good. If you don't do it, you failed already. It's not good. So try. If you fail, you'll learn from it. But it's not good. The first 5 versions are not good. The 6th version is a masterpiece. You have to be willing to try, to jump in, to write your own music in order to get better at doing it. You're not going to get better at writing tunes by not writing tunes because you're afraid you can't write tunes. It's counterintuitive. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. Well, that's basically it. That's what I wanted to share. That gives you an idea of the sorts of things to do in the background while you're working through the Tune World material. Some of this is basic for you. Some of this you may have heard, maybe not. They're all different levels and different levels to come, people. But this is stuff that's foundational for all you're doing in Tune World. Give this stuff some love. Give this stuff some effort, some time and attention. And you will see results in your playing that will marvel you. You'll be so happy, and so will I. All my love. Keep working. Keep playing. Have fun.